Part 165. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1641. After a big battle, even if it is a big victory, it is normal to have to rest for a while. In this battle, the early battles were ferocious, and Fang Fan's major legions were also injured. But before that, they all had healing cards of various levels to protect them, so relatively speaking, there was indeed some battle damage, but it wasn't as big as imagined. Taking advantage of this period of rest, Fang Fan carefully stroked the various cards in his hand. 2 Quasi-Holy Battle Pet Experience cards, 2 Quasi-Holy Legion Experience cards. There is also a Holy Battle Pet Experience card and a Holy Puppet Summoning card. Fang Fan pondered secretly, and then took the lead in drawing out 2 Quasi-Holy Level Battle Pet Experience cards. Night Kirin. God's Favorite Kunpeng. Use this Quasi-Holy Pet Experience card. Fang Fan snorted secretly, and then handed over 2 Quasi-Saint Battle Pet Experience cards. Thank you, Lord. The Divine Pet Kunpeng and the Anyekailan surrounded each other, with excited expressions on their faces. Now they are all 10-star emperors. And the Hell 3-headed dog and the little golden dragon stepped into the quasi-sacred realm early. As the pets of the battle, they also feel panic from the bottom of their hearts, want to make a change, want to follow the rise and take off. It is really very normal to have such an idea, it can only be said to be a normalized thinking mode. Ding. Using a quasi-holy level war pet experience card, the pet of the 10-star Emperor's realm, Dark Yekailan, is promoted to a low-level quasi-holy realm. Ding. Using a quasi-holy level battle pet experience card, the 10-star Emperor's realm war pet beast Kunpeng is promoted to a low-level quasi-sacred realm. Not surprisingly, their respective promotions were exactly as expected. Fang Fan nodded secretly, and the smiles on his face inexplicably increased, and at this moment, such thoughts in his heart gradually churned. Now the 4 great favorites under his command have all been promoted to the low-level quasi-sacred realm. Now there is a Holy Battle Pet Experience card, 2 Quasi-Holy Legion Experience cards and a Holy Puppet Summoning card. First use 2 Quasi-Holy Legion Experience cards. Low Heavy Machine Artillery Corps. Yellow Turban Warlock Legion. Fang Fan snorted, and directly dispatched the 2 low-rank quasi-holy legions under his command. Among the top 10 individual legions under his command, the Blood Shura Legion is 1-star Sanctuary Realm, the Low Heavy Machine Artillery Legion and the Yellow Turban Peace Warlock Legion are both low-level quasi-saint realm, and the others are all 10-star Emperor Master Realm. Compared with the current situation of scarcity of resources, it is relatively cost-effective to upgrade the low-level quasi-holy level Low Heavy Machine Gun Corps and the Yellow Turban Peace Warlock Corps, which is also Fang Fan's related plan all along. Ding. Using 2 quasi-holy rank experience cards, the low-level quasi-holy level Low Heavy Machine Artillery Corps and the Yellow Turban Typing Warlock Corps are promoted to mid-level quasi-holy ranks. Fang Fan's eyes lit up when the system sound came from his ear. The Quasi-Holy Legion Experience card contained a lot of experience points, which directly upgraded the Legion. To promote from a low-level Quasi-Sage to a middle-level Quasi-Sage, if you buy a Quasi-Sage promotion card for promotion, at least 10 million star cores are needed to promote a Legion. Every minute is blood money. Fang Fan nodded secretly, and the smiles on his face grew more and more. For the Low Heavy Machine Artillery Corps and the Yellow Turban Typing Warlock Corps, there is not much change in attire after being promoted from the low-level Quasi-Sage to the middle-level Quasi-Sage, but the powerful aura leaking from the whole body is at least deep 10 times. Naturally, the combat power also soared. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 1642. In the end, there is a Holy Level Battle Pet Experience card and a Holy Level Puppet Summoning card left. Fang Fan thought to himself, and took the lead to pick up the Holy Puppet Summoning card. Sacred Puppet Summoning card. After opening it, a sacred puppet will be summoned immediately, and the star core must be provided as energy to activate the sacred puppet. The introduction to this holy level puppet summoning card is relatively simple, that is, it can summon a holy level puppet, and it is permanent, and there is no relevant time limit. Some star cores serve as energy. As for whether to summon a 1-star sanctuary level puppet or a 9-star and 10-star sanctuary level puppet, it is unknown. Open. As soon as Fang Fan thought about it, he couldn't wait to directly reveal its true face of Mount Lu. Every time you open a card, it feels like you are drawing a lottery. This feeling is extraordinarily real, and the excitement in your heart is also extraordinarily real. Ding. Open the Holy Level Puppet Summoning card and successfully summon a 5-star Holy Level Puppet. Whoosh whoosh. A silver light flashed, and a puppet general covered in a silver armor stomach appeared in front of his eyes. About 190 or so tall, the body wrapped in a silver stomach looks very burly, and the facial expression is the same as that of a real person, but the complexion is stiff and expressionless, and the pupils do not have the slightest light. The key is not the point. 5-star sanctuary level puppet. I have a 5-star sanctuary level puppet as my support. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and there were gleams of light in them. Thinking of this, his eyes became sharper, and the smiles on the corners of his mouth gradually increased. The unprecedented joy made Fang Fan have a desire to cheer completely. Now the strongest combat force under his command is the colorful little female dragon Annie, who is only in the 3-star sanctuary realm. When encountering an enemy in the 4-star sanctuary realm, he needs to go for a series of battle preparations, and even Pol Nyan, the owner of the 7th rank god, Tianji Star Apostle, let him use the battle control magic skill before he can fight hard. But now if there is this puppet General Yinjia to assist in the battle, the situation will be completely reversed. On the battlefield, a high-level cultivator can completely play a decisive role in the battle situation. When fighting against the 203 Bronze Legion of the Dark Temple before, if it hadn't killed its Bronze Legion leader at the beginning and played the role of the leader, the 203 Bronze Legion of the Dark Temple would not have collapsed directly. Overall, it's all a complementary relationship, and so on. I control this puppet through my mind. Since he was born as a puppet, he should have a name, or else he should be called Silver Armored Puppet. Fang Fan nodded secretly. The name was simple and easy to remember. If you want to control him now, you need to install some star cores. Fang Fan thought to himself, then stepped forward silently, and put 100 star cores on the silver armored puppet. Ding. Insufficient star core, insufficient energy, unable to start. Fang Fan was stunned. Isn't 100 star cores enough? What does this mean? Overweight, 1,000 star cores. Ding. Insufficient star core, insufficient energy, unable to start. After repeating these few words back and forth, Fang Fan took a slight breath, and the expression on his face became more and more complicated. For some reason, he suddenly had a bad feeling. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1643. This thing, wouldn't be a big eater, would it? Fang Fan gritted his teeth. He just got a 5-star sanctuary level silver armored puppet. He was naturally extremely excited, but he had to pay attention to some other things at the same time. For example, can it support the consumption of this silver armored puppet? 1,000 star cores are not enough, then 10,000 star cores. Fang Fan gave it all up and continued to increase the size. Ding. Insufficient star core, Insufficient energy, unable to start. Fang Fan. Still the same mechanical sound as always. I still have more than 1 million star cores on me now. These are the trophies of the 203rd Bronze Legion that defeated the Black Temple. Don't build them all at once. With a dark face, Fang Fan slowly continued to increase the star core chips. 20,000 star cores, not enough energy. 100,000 star cores, the energy is still not enough. 200,000, still not enough. 500,000, not enough. Fang Fan has already collapsed. The degree of this big stomach king is a bit too much. Do you want to live? But if you keep a low profile, why can't you do it? An ordinary holy card in the auction system is only tens of thousands of star cores. It is too strenuous to activate a 5-star sanctuary level puppet. Phew, the star core is all for you. Over 1 million. Fang Fan gritted his teeth, and said directly at this moment, now he can only make such a choice. Ding. The star core is sufficient, the energy is sufficient, and the startup is successful. Ding. 1.1 million star cores were detected, and the silver armored puppet can be activated for 1 minute and 6 seconds. Ding. Started successfully. A series of system sounds exploded in his mind, and Fang Fan's eyeballs were about to pop out. Can you be a little more embarrassing? Master, please order. The silver armored puppet knelt down on one knee, displaying the aura of the 5-star sanctuary on its body, carrying a terrifying aura. At this moment, Fang Fan's eyes are full of distress. Start sleeping. Fang Fan let out a foul breath and said directly. Every second, is the consumption of more than 10,000 star cores. 1.1 million star cores can only support the silver armored puppets for 1 minute and 6 seconds. That is to say, it needs 1 million star cores for 1 minute to start it. And if you want to start it, the starting point is 1 million star cores. When the star core is exhausted, the silver armored puppet is no different from the iron lump. As Fang Fan thought to himself, the expression on his face became more and more complicated. But to completely empty out his rhythm, I thought that with the silver armored puppet in the 5-star sanctuary, basically everything can be swept away. After all, the third-rank red-clothed Archbishop Nangong Lei in the Temple of the Light Alliance is also a 5-star sanctuary realm, and his cultivation level, among all the third-rank red-clothed archbishops, is already regarded as the top-level cultivation level. Generally, the cultivation base of the head of the Bronze Legion under the temple is a 3-star 4-star sanctuary. Generally, the head of the Silver Legion who is almost the same may have this level of cultivation. So in general, the 5-star sanctuary level is not considered low, whether it is in the Legion or among the priests in the temple. Now there are indeed silver armored puppets in the 5-star sanctuary realm, but they need to be fed by star cores throughout the process. 1 minute, 1 million star cores, the same price. Which local tyrant can afford this thing? Until the moment of life and death, I will never use it to fight. Starting with 1 million star cores at every turn, my heart can't stand it. Fang Fan secretly slandered. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1644. Fang Fan sighed softly, and put away the silver armored puppet. This silver armored puppet was destined to be hidden for a long time. There is one last card left, finished, end. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, raised the corners of his mouth slightly, the smiles on his face involuntarily increased, and various thoughts were churning in his mind. He was thinking, which battle pet should use this holy battle pet experience card. Now the 4 great pets under his command have been promoted to the low-level quasi-sacred realm, and the palms and backs of his hands are full of flesh. Generally speaking, little golden dragon Ao Guang's cultivation level is slightly higher. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, fell into deep thought, and then all kinds of thoughts were churning in his mind, everything appeared as it should be. Little golden dragon Aoguang is still merging the sanctuary dragon soul, it's just that the fusion has not been completed yet. To put it bluntly, this is a potential stock. Fang Fan thought to himself, his eyes gradually became sharper, various thoughts churned in his mind, and his feelings gradually became deeper with me. Now Xiao Jinlong is probably at the peak of the low-level quasi-sage, it only needs a small opportunity, and the cultivation base can be promoted directly. If you fully integrate that sanctuary dragon soul, maybe you can directly advance to the high-level quasi-sacred realm. Currently, there is only one holy battle pet experience card, it must be to maximize the benefits. Fang Fan's eyes in the downturn period couldn't help looking at the little golden dragon Aoguang. Aoguang, use this holy battle pet experience card. With this thought in mind, Fang Fan no longer hesitated, and strode forward directly, speaking very frankly. Holy battle pet experience card. My lord, I already have the sanctuary dragon soul, I think Xiao Tian and the others need it more. Aoguang, the little golden dragon, gritted his teeth, and then sighed secretly, although he yearned for this holy battle pet experience card, but he was not willing to take it all by himself. Now your cultivation base is the highest, and you can use experience cards to increase your combat power and maximize your benefits. If this continues, it will only delay time. Xiao Tian and the others, if I have the opportunity, I will naturally improve their cultivation. You don't need to worry about this. Don't need to put too much pressure on them. Fang Fan sighed softly, and then said very calmly. In this matter, there is still a certain basis. Obey my lord. Aoguang, the little golden dragon, nodded firmly, took a deep breath, and began to open the cards. Ding. Aoguang, the little golden dragon of the low-level quasi-sacred realm, uses a holy level battle pet experience card, is being promoted. Ding. The little golden dragon of the low-level quasi-sacred realm has been promoted to the middle-level quasi-sacred realm. Ding. Promoted to a high-level quasi-sacred realm. Ding. Promoted to the peak quasi-sacred realm. Ding. The sanctuary lightning tribulation is coming. One after another, the system sounds came, and Fang Fan's face became more and more complex. The effect of the holy level battle pet experience card is simply not too good. It directly raises the low-level quasi-holy level battle pet to the absolute peak sanctuary realm, and even directly provokes the sanctuary thunder disaster. Once he survives the thunder disaster in the sanctuary, everything will be settled, and the little golden dragon Aoguang will be completely promoted to the sanctuary realm. It would be great if I could have an extra saint-level fighter under my command. Fang Fan nodded secretly, his eyes gradually became earnest. In this turbulent world, only by constantly improving his capital can he protect his inner peace. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1645. I just don't know how many sanctuary lightning tribulations. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, thinking secretly in his heart. Now he is also a little difficult to predict the relevant standards. When the little golden dragon and the hell three-headed dog were crossing the Emperor's catastrophe before, they both encountered the most severe treatment. But behind the Dark Knight Unicorn and the Divine Beast Kunpeng, the Emperor's catastrophe seems to be ordinary. Some things really can't be generalized. It's useless to say 1,000 words and 10,000. The key is to stabilize your mentality and win the battle. Fang Fan nodded secretly, his eyes flickering brightly. Master. The little golden dragon was flying in the air, looking eagerly at Fang Fan. Fang Fan nodded secretly, then waved his hand and said, "Go to cross the catastrophe, if you should come, you will always come, you are a dragon, and you are born with strong resistance to lightning, so it shouldn't be a big problem." Fang Fan shorthand nodded, and then encouraged, but Fang Fan felt a little guilty at the moment. He was not sure whether the black hand behind the scenes above the supreme heavens would reappear. If you intervene forcefully, it must be the 9 layers of Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation. 9-level Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation. The last 9th level Sanctuary Thunder Tribulation is the Sky Thunder Bombardment of the peak state of the 3-star Sanctuary Realm. A little carelessness will completely collapse. So of course there are still risks. Rumbling. Thunder clusters linger, thunder roars. The black clouds in the sky are crazily gathering, giving people a sense of suffocation and surging from the heart, subconsciously want to go backwards, but also want to climb forward. The feeling has only grown stronger since then. Xingyu Island, the core area, the central military tent. Sanctuary Lightning Tribulation. It came from the east. Is there a cultivator on the island who wants to break into the sanctuary? Wenquin, the head of the 308 Bronze Legion, narrowed his eyes, and then sighed softly. As he spoke, the look in his eyes gradually flooded. Master Legion, the East, that's that kid's territory. That kid is really weird. 308 Xinen, the inspector of the 1st Black Iron Legion of the Bronze Legion, gritted his teeth. Now that the 1st Black Iron Legion has been taken away by Fang Fan, and the position of the head of the Black Iron Legion is temporarily held by Galen, he, the supervisor, has stayed on. He knows very well that he went there just to seek abuse. He is not so stupid yet. From the looks of it, the one who survived the thunder tribulation in the sanctuary is also a cultivator under his command. Damn it! Since this guy came, there has been no peace. Wenquin, the head of the 308 Bronze Legion, gritted his teeth and said, the killing intent in his eyes was concentrated, and he looked very tyrannical. Master Legion, don't worry, as long as you sit on Xingyu Island, sooner or later you will drive this guy out of the island, or even kill him directly. It's only a matter of time. 308 Xinen, the inspector of the 1st Black Iron Legion of the Bronze Legion, stepped forward and said flatteringly. Eradicate him. What to kill him with? The last thing was done by you and the Mad Lion. Now that the Mad Lion is dead, shouldn't you give me an explanation? A full Bronze Legion in the Dark Temple didn't cause any harm to Fang Fan. What did you do? Didn't I ask you to investigate his background? Did you investigate? Does Fang Fan have many backers in the temple as he said? What is the relationship between Archbishop Nangong Lei Hong Ai and Saint Dongguo? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1646. Hot Spring stared directly at Xinen, showing great concern. In addition to being the inspector of the 1st Black Iron Legion, Xinen is also the deputy 4th rank acting archbishop of the Temple of the Alliance of Light. Relatively speaking, he still has a bit of a reputation. Master Legion, I wanted to report this matter to you just now. The thing is like this Fang Fan also entered the temple recently, and his original identity was the Palace Master of the 4th rank Force Human Emperor Palace. After entering the temple, measure the 10th level of faith in the Temple of Faith, that is, believers in gods. Afterwards, he was awarded the priesthood level of a 5th rank bishop. During this process, the Archbishop Nangong Lei Hong Ai was very optimistic about him. As for Dongguo Shenj, I only met him once, and it's impossible to say that we have a good friendship. It's just that his status as a god believer is so high. 308 Xinen, the supervisor of the 1st Black Iron Legion of the Bronze Legion, nodded secretly as he spoke. What he said was the most truthful situation. Damn it! A believer in God. Then how do you move him? Even if Saint Dongguo has nothing to do with him, we can't afford to provoke that Archbishop Nangong lay in red. Once we do a thorough investigation, we will be finished. Wenquin, the head of the 308 Bronze Legion, took a deep breath, then said through gritted teeth, that the current situation is too passive. You don't need to worry, Lord Legion. This time there is another piece of news. Duan Mudding acting cardinal seems to be very dissatisfied with this Fang Fan, and this time he has some explanations. 308 Xianan, the inspector of the 1st Black Iron Legion of the Bronze Legion, raised his mouth slightly, and then hinted at the side, saying that, basically the hint is in place, and many things will be understood after a little thought, more or less there is also a little sense of proportion in my heart. In the central military tent, there were gradually voices of heated conversations, followed by excited laughter. The various states are extraordinarily real. Xingyu Island, East. Fang Fan opened his mouth, watched the process of crossing the tribulation for a while, and the expression of astonishment on his face involuntarily increased. The first Sky Thunder, intermediate quasi-holy rank. The second Thunder, high-level quasi-sage. The third Thunder, the pinnacle quasi-holy rank. And then it's over. The little golden dragon didn't even hurt its fur. Fortunately, I have made a series of preparations and worried for a while. Fang Fan frowned, and couldn't help but glanced at the void. At this moment, the thoughts in his heart were flying. The mastermind behind the endless heavens, disappeared. At the end of the endless heavens, a certain temple. Cough, cough cough cough. Call. I was injured by that kid last time, and I haven't recovered yet. Damn ants. When I find a chance, I will definitely kill you. Damn it, the believers down here are too smudged. Trash. They are all trash. I told them the range, and they couldn't even find anyone. In the temple, the middle-aged man in a red robe wiped off the blood from the corner of his mouth, then took a deep breath, and his body twitched unnaturally. Because the sense of tearing from the sea of consciousness made his face look a bit hideous at the moment. He stood up, eyes like torches. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1647. The little golden dragon flew down from the air and landed directly in front of Fang Fan. My lord, you have fulfilled your mission. The little golden dragon swayed around in front of Fang Fan, with an excited expression on the dragon's face. Fang Fan nodded, smiled to himself, and added another sacred force to his command. Their team has become stronger. In the next few days, Fang Fan basically spent training the army. The Emperor's Legion and the Slaves' Legion under his command were in training, so it wasn't a big problem. The key is the newly recruited 308th Bronze Legion, the 1st Black Iron Legion and the 3rd Black Iron Legion. Especially the 1st Black Iron Legion. The 3rd Black Iron Legion is still under the command of Mo Zhang, the leader of the army, so it is not a big problem, but the 1st Black Iron Legion is completely pulled by Fang Fan Qiang, and the head of the 1st Black Iron Legion, Guangxi Fang Fan beheaded directly. All these things seemed very real. My lord, the 1st Black Iron Legion is rioting again. The leader of the Garen Legion is busy suppressing it. Hao Yun ran over in a hurry, wiped the cold sweat off his face while talking, and the appearance of wheezing was very real. Go, and have a look. Fang Fan smiled calmly, but he didn't think it was such a big deal. After all, it was Fang Fan who asked Galen to kill the head of the 1st Black Iron Legion, Wild Lion, and then made Galen the acting head of the 1st Black Iron Legion. Looking at it from all aspects, it is normal for them to have opinions and even want to resist. If everyone chooses to remain silent, like stagnant water, then there is a real problem. Those that can erupt, all erupted at once, are also excellent. Fang Fan was thinking in his heart, and the lights in his eyes flickered. Protest. Protest. We want the head of the Wild Lion Legion. What did the head of the Wild Lion Legion do wrong? Just kill him. We are not convinced. Yes. Dissatisfied. If you don't give us an explanation today, absolutely not. Protest. The new army leader, get out. You are not welcome here. Get out. Get out. There is something that will kill us. We are not afraid. If you are really capable, you will kill the entire First Legion. I want to see if you have the guts. As soon as they approached the garrison of the First Black Iron Legion, there was a burst of noise, and after a little listening, one could tell what they were making a fuss about. To put it bluntly, I just don't accept Galen, the new army commander, and Fang Fan, the bronze-level inspector. Fang Fan strode over and glanced around in front of the people. Although the crowd seemed excited, if he looked carefully, he could see some clues. The leaders are the captains of those battle groups. Most of those ordinary soldiers are in the posture of soy sauce. The inspector is here. Fang Fan's inspector is here. I heard that it is the head of the Wild Lion Army that he ordered to kill. This is an evil star executioner, everyone be careful. Hee, what are you afraid of? The law does not punish the public. Could it be that he can kill us all? I don't believe he still has the guts. It's just, this situation can still be seen clearly. Everyone take it easy, we must hug each other. Continuing to stay under the command of Fang Fan, the inspector, will surely die in the end. It is more reliable to go back to the head of the Hot Spring Army. The head of the Hot Spring Army has promised us that as long as we go back, it will be the same as before. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 1648. There were constant disturbances, and all kinds of hoarse voices could be heard. Galen, the acting head of the First Black Iron Legion, held the big sword in his hand and smiled helplessly. Seeing Fang Fan's arrival, Galen suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. Galen has always been by Fang Fan's side as a front runner, leading the army, which is still an army of 100,000 people. This is indeed his first time, and his experience is indeed still lacking. My lord, my subordinates are incompetent. Galen had a look of shame on his face. After all, he still didn't do his job well. It's good to exercise more, it's not a big problem. Fang Fan patted Galen on the shoulder and said calmly. Immediately, Fang Fan snatched the great sword from Galen's hand. Take out the sword, it will see blood. In the army, we need to love and sympathize with soldiers. This is the instinct of a handsome man. But the premise is that these soldiers are loyal to you and to the faith. For those who violate the military law, I don't think there is any need to be too lenient. Fang Fan said on the right, and then taught Galen by precept and example. Galen nodded subconsciously, with a thoughtful look on his face. Are you guys protesting? What is the content of the protest, you can tell me. Also, you guys are too chaotic, 100,000 people are chattering together, I can't understand, it's too noisy. Why don't you send out 100 representatives, and discuss with me how to deal with it? Don't worry, today's matter will definitely be dealt with. What to do and how to choose, everyone just needs to know. As Fang Fan spoke, the corners of his mouth rose silently, and thoughts gradually took off in his mind. As soon as Fang Fan finished speaking, there was another noisy sound from below. This Fang Fan inspector doesn't seem to be as scary as I imagined. He looks kind. That's right, who said that he is a big devil who kills without blinking an eye? He wants to kill us all at every turn? How is this possible? I think Fang Fan's supervisor said it quite well. Could it be that our captain and battle group leader is deceiving us? Well, don't care, isn't it necessary to exclude 100 representatives? Let them talk. It's just, actually, I think it's good to stay under Fang Fan's inspector. I heard that Mo Zhang, the head of the 3rd Black Iron Legion, directly rewarded a small flying battleship and 10 a large flying warship. Damn it, isn't this treatment good enough? The heavy firepower has doubled. After some debate, practitioners stood in front of Fang Fan one by one, and these people were all relevant representatives. 100 representatives represent the will of 100,000 people of the entire 1st Black Iron Legion. Now we can talk. What exactly do you want? Fang Fan smiled slightly, playing with the big sword in his hand, looking very friendly. We just want to go back. We want to return to the commander of the Hot Spring Army, and besides, we don't recognize this new army commander. That's right, we are soldiers of the 308th Bronze Legion, and our legion leader is Master Hot Spring. This is our request. If we can do it, we will leave immediately and will never continue to harass. You can keep our people, but you can't keep our hearts. Stop making fearless struggles. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1649. The yelling continued. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes slightly, and seemed to be listening carefully. The reason why he came here was mainly because he wanted to completely wipe out some cancerous tumors of the 1st Black Iron Legion. It is naturally very difficult to eliminate it from 100,000 people, but it will be easier if it is concentrated in 100 people. Those who can be elected as representatives are most likely to be those who are the happiest part of the crowd. Of course, there are also some honest people who were strongly recommended. Fang Fan listened patiently and slowly, in order to screen carefully. The concept of killing 3,000 by mistake and never letting go of one is not feasible for Fang Fan. He must minimize the loss. After waiting for about 10 minutes, as the voices of the 100 representatives gradually disappeared, Fang Fan raised his head silently. It's all over. Fang Fan smiled, followed by a chuckle. Inspector Fang Fan, we've finished talking. Shouldn't it be time to fulfill your promise? You said that our matter will be resolved today. Hee. Anyway, now we have said all we need to say. Please make a decision as soon as possible. It was Zhao Po, the commander of the 3rd Battle Regiment of the 1st Black Iron Legion, who was speaking at the moment, and he was also the loudest among this group of people. Well, I know, it will be resolved naturally. How about this? The people I point to stand to the left, and the rest stay where they are. Fang Fan chuckled, and then pulled out about 30 practitioners from the crowd. These people basically belonged to the taciturn type. Everyone had question marks on their foreheads, not knowing what Fang Fan was doing for this move, but overall, they still seemed a little surprised. 37 people I pointed out, you can return to the team. Fang Fan waved his hand and told them to go back directly. Inspector Fang Fan, what are you doing? Don't try to get these meaningless things, we will never be deceived. Zhao Po, head of the 3rd Battle Regiment of the 1st Black Iron Legion, continued to speak proudly, appearing very persistent. Where is the law enforcement team? The rest, kill them all. Fang Fan waved his hand, then raised the big sword in his hand again, smiling happily. At this moment, the 63 people standing in the front row were stupefied, their complexions instantly turned pale, and the horror in their eyes was beyond words. Fang Fan's supervisor, what do you mean? Do you want to abuse lynching? We are all officers of the 308th Bronze Legion. If you treat us like this, the head of the Hot Spring Legion will not let you go. You devil! Killing devil! Executioner! You will be punished for doing this. Zhao Po, the head of the 3rd Battle Group of the 1st Black Iron Legion, stepped forward and roared, and then he couldn't help groping for his waist with his hands, trying to draw out his sword to attack. You don't respect the military order and inspire the army, shouldn't I kill you? You have plotted against the law and intend to defect, shouldn't you be dealt with by military law? And you even want to attack and kill me now? He, you don't know what the crime of murdering the Shangguan is. Fang Fan's momentum soared, and then the big sword swung down directly. Click. There was a sound of bone cracking, and a large head fell to the ground. Zhao Po, head of the 3rd Battle Group of the 1st Black Iron Legion, opened his eyes wide, looking extremely unwilling. He still thinks about his own wealth and glory. After all, the head of the Hot Spring Legion promised him. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1650. But now, the head has been beheaded, and everything is like a flower in the mirror, not to mention Champion Zhao Po. You demon. What do you want to do to us? We are all from the head of the Hot Spring Army. If you dare to touch us, the head of the Hot Spring Army will not let you go. You don't have the guts to measure up. The law does not blame the public. How can you kill us with so many people? We are the elite and backbone of the 1st Black Iron Legion. If we are killed, the 1st Black Iron Legion will collapse. It's a big deal. I don't want to die anymore. Is there any chance if I choose to evacuate now? Wave after wave, shouting endlessly. One of the 63 people selected has been killed, and there are 62 left. These people basically belong to those who were unwilling to surrender and accept military orders, so they were naturally the ones Fang Fan tried his best to pay. If they were not killed, the situation would not be clear at all, and the overall situation would be difficult to maintain. It can be imagined that after the battle started, the 1st Black Iron Legion rushed out, but when the impact was halfway through, these people made trouble from it, leading the army to flee around. At that time, the loss will not only be the combat power of a Black Iron Legion, it will even affect the morale of the entire army. This is a choice you made yourself, you should learn to bear the consequences yourself. Law Enforcement Team. Kill. Fang Fan sneered coldly, with murderous intent in his eyes. At this time, there is no need to talk about anything else, everything is settled. The so-called law enforcement team is actually the Blood Shura Legion. It is basically impossible for any accidents to happen if the 7 one-star Sanctuary Realm Blood Shuras of the Blood Shura Legion attack together. Fang Fan has no way. So cruel. Brothers. Don't be patient. Go up and kill him. Kill him. We go together, I don't believe he can escape. Behead Fang Fan, the head of the Hot Spring Army will reward you a lot. Hoo, rush over. Fierce roars continued, and then the remaining 60 or so rebels were all excited and proud. But what awaited them was a butcher's knife, a bloody butcher's knife. Their average combat strength is no more than the Quasi-Sage realm or even the Emperor realm, it is far from the Sanctuary realm Blood Shuras of the Blood Shura Legion. The massacre ended quickly, and the entire 1st Black Iron Legion fell into silence. Galen, acting chief of the 1st Black Iron Legion, opened his mouth, feeling a lot at the moment. He never thought that the Lord would use this method to rectify the entire 1st Black Iron Legion. This method is a bit tough. To stop chaos with killing, to control violence with violence, it seems a little frightening to some extent. Such ideas are tossing each other, gradually becoming more real. My lord. Galen stepped forward, took a deep breath, and lowered his head silently. Do you also think that I am too cruel and a tyrant? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, then sighed softly, thoughts gradually flying in his mind. Galen, Galen dare not. Galen obeys the orders of the Lord. Galen held his head high, the corners of his mouth raised silently, and his eyes became more and more determined. Fang Fan nodded secretly, he never doubted Galen's loyalty. This is your sword, hold it now. Killing is not the best way to solve the problem, but it is indeed the most efficient way. Every one of those people who were beheaded is incompatible with the First Black Iron Legion. If they are allowed to stay in the First Black Iron Legion, they will become cancerous tumors, and then entrap the entire Legion.